Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to just discuss. What? Oh, sorry. I'd just like to I'm not an attorney. I kind of figure out what's going on here, and I understand, and people out in the audience and people on TV tonight, the temporary restraining order. The way I look at it is something goes wrong in a relationship. One of the parties, male or female, goes down, gets a restraining order, and all of a sudden, they get it granted, and they feel that they have this umbrella over them, that they're protected. They separate their different ways. Hopefully, one party stays away from another party, and, that's the best outcome of it. They feel protected. They have this restraining order around them, and that's what this bill is all about, a restraining order. But when I look at from line 1 to line 622, I only see in it a part that mentions firearms. And with the restraining orders, as we've been through the testimony through the year, the month of March that we had, and to today, looking at it, and some of the restraining orders don't get served, they get tossed, never issued. Sometimes it's a custody stunt. It's heat of the moment argument or something like that. A lot of things happen. When these things happen, the guns are going to be taken away. You don't know what's going to happen with, it could be 2 days, it could be 3 weeks, it could be, a couple months or to 2 years. You don't know what's going on with the restraining order. They kissed and made up, everything's going on, the guns are taken away. It looks to me like we're trying to throw a gun into a bill, and I appreciate the work you guys are putting into this to try and make it, but I think we're rushing too much into this, because as guns in 2012 was only 160 incidents of domestic violence, where knives were 655, other weapons were 1,298, and the hands, fists, and feet are 12,610. And in the lines 1 through 622, I do not see anywhere where those, which are the most common situations between domestic violence, are not addressed. And then when we get to line 3, each state marshal shall receive each process directed to such marshal when tendered, execute it promptly, and make true return thereof. And my question to you is, what is promptly, Mr. Chairman?
If you'd give me a minute, Representative McGorty, I'd be happy to respond. Need to find the bill. Which line? Oh, yeah. Representative McGorty, I interpret promptly in line 4 of the bill to mean as soon as practicable.
Okay, that would be another interpretation of it. And as a fire marshal for the past 15 years, I go out and do inspections, and I find a fire code violation. I have a duty to serve them with a violation notice to abate the hazard, either 30, 60, or 90 days. And some may be major, some might be minor, and I would love to just tell, the property owner that, you can take care of this as soon as possible. But, that's a fire hazard, and that's also a life safety to a human being, as such as a restraining order if you have, an abusive partner. So if I now have an abusive partner that has a restraining order, and I have one against them, I'm assuming that the restraining order is going to protect me the moment I sign it, the judge signs it, but as soon as possible could be any time. So wouldn't this bill be better if we tightened up what is the time to serve? Because we see that most of the restraining orders, as we have it 40% filings are tossed or never issued, but the victim may still think that they're protected the moment that that's signed by the judge. And I just think that we're rushing into this. Maybe we need to protect more of the issue other than the gun issue of when are they protected, for how long are they protected, and is there really a need to remove their guns if the issue is probably a custody stun or, heat of the moment and that type of issue. I think we need to put some date on it that the marshal should serve within X amount of days and, work at it that way. So we kind of give a time period of when you're going to be protected, and we'll go that way. But I think we're just rushing too much into this bill. It's, we're almost at the deadline now, but it's a good start. I think it needs a lot of work, and, I would like to know when a restraining order will be served. And I think we have a big problem with the false sense of security that, it's been written, the judge signed off on it, and we're all safe and sound, but I don't think so. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.